I learned how to sing because of her. And I'm sure many girls say the same. But I mean, I literally, maybe I'm here with you because I heard her, because I heard that album and because it changed my life.
Hola, ¿qué tal, mi gente? On this edition of our Bilingual Sounds session, I'm super happy to be welcoming the Venezuelan singer-songwriter Nela, who is a Latin and Grammy Award-winning artist as well. So we got some royalty in here today. So she's gonna be performing a couple songs. I'm gonna be asking her some questions, getting to know more about Nela. But first, I wanna say I'm Byron Gonzalez. I am the program director of Bilingual Sounds 88.5 HD3, and you can stream us anywhere and everywhere at any time on our website, bilingualsounds.org. Bilingual Sounds HD3 is a public radio station who strives to bring you music from all over the world. And we can't do this without your help. We are a public radio station and we do need support. You can always go to our website, bilingualsounds.org, to find out how you can support. But more immediately, you can support us by hitting the subscribe button down below, giving us a like on this video, and maybe putting some hearts in our comments. I'm sure Nela would really appreciate that. So again, thank you for pressing play, and let's get into it. We got Nela here in studio. ¿Cómo estás, Nela? Un gusto tenerte aquí.
Hola a todos. Estoy muy feliz. Very happy to be here,
Oh,
Byron.
thank you for coming all the way to Northridge. I know sometimes it can be a drive.
Of course. No. I'm happy. And I mean, I've heard that in LA, it doesn't matter where you go, right? Like, it's always going to be far.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah. And traffic. And
No,
traffic.
but I've been lucky. I feel like every ride I've taken these days have been maximum 30 minutes.
Okay.
That's normal, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
very normal. Abnormal
this-
is like an hour.
Okay. So yeah, 30 minutes. That's
Yeah.
what I've had.
Well, thanks for making the trek of 30 minutes out here.
Of course.
So I do want to talk about your latest album. It's a beautiful homage to great Latin American women. But first, I want to know about this Latin American woman, Nela. I want to know a little bit more deeper of what makes Nela tick. So these first couple of questions, it can be short answers, however you want to do it. So, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee. Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Pancakes. What's your favorite wildlife animal?
The lion.
A lion, because of fierceness.
Yeah. It was the first one that came to my mind, to be honest.
Okay. Are you a night owl or an early bird?
Early bird, no. Let's say no. Night owl. Yeah.
How many languages do you know? I know that you know a couple.
I know Spanish, obviously, English, and Portuguese.
Would you want to learn another one?
See, of course. French.
French.
Yeah, so much.
It's very easy because Spanish and French are I took a couple classes.
You
They're very
did.
similar.
What makes me mad is that I'm never gonna have that beautiful accent. You know,
Yeah.
I can speak maybe, but I will never have that accent. But
Yeah, it's hard.
it's okay.
Are you a good gift giver?
Oh no.
No?
No, I suck at it. I'm sorry. And I forget birthdays and stuff. So yeah, not good.
Do you have a hidden talent that isn't music related?
I grew up playing bowling. I grew up bowling. Like my dad had a bowling alley, so I grew up playing. We say jugar bowling, that's why. So I grew up bowling, and I have my bowl that said Mari because my full name is Marianela. So I have my orange. It was orange. Remember, my shoes were also orange. So I had the whole package, and I used to play all the time. And I even had like the little thing that the ball does like this and goes to the middle.
Oh, you had your tricks.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I may have it still, but I haven't practiced in a while.
Oh, you haven't had time to bowl?
No, there's always time. I guess I just haven't, thought about it. But I do love it.
Oh, you should get back into it.
Yeah.
Roll perfect 300 one of these days.
Yeah, I should. It's a lot of fun though.
Yeah. So now we got to know you a little bit more. And this next couple questions are a little bit more music related, but more general. Like, what was a favorite album that you could not stop listening to when you were growing up?
Stripped by Christina
Stripped?
Aguilera. The one that is black and white, the
Mm-hmm.
cover, that one. I know that one from top to bottom to top. Like,
You were telling me that you just went to a Christina Aguilera event. Did you
my
get
God.
starstruck? Were you able to go up and talk to her?
I had a picture. I got a picture with her because she was, of course, there in the VIP area and stuff. It was her event. It was her celebration for the first album. We're just talking about how old we are because it's the 25th anniversary, right, of her first album. And I got a picture with her, and I was like, "Can I tell you something?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course." And somebody came to take a picture with her, and he just got in the middle between her and me. And I was like, I will have another chance.
So rude.
I will have another chance. I mean, everybody was like crazy, just wanted to take pictures. But you know what's funny? What was funny is like, I didn't realize how big it was for me last night. Like, I was excited, obviously. And I've always said, like, I learned how to sing because of her. And I'm sure many girls say the same. But I mean, I literally, maybe I'm here with you because I heard her and because I heard that album and because it changed my life. And then, of course, it influenced me in so many ways. But there was just a moment last night that I was like, it kind of like, that realization, like, what the hell, this woman that I grew up like admiring so much, like I knew everything musically. I was never that fan that would have like posters and stuff or know about her life. It was just about the music. Yeah, I couldn't believe she was just like this close. And yeah, for a moment I was like, I feel like I want to cry. I feel like I want to laugh. Like, I don't know what I feel. It was very exciting. Yeah.
That's pretty. I don't think I've ever felt like that in front of a celebrity, I guess, right?
I never thought I would. I always practiced. Believe me, I practiced. What if I see her? Yeah, well, nothing happened, but the feeling was kind of like, was beautiful, kind of to go back to little Nella,
Well, hopefully she can, your music makes your way to her eventually.
Oh, yeah, I believe in that. I don't know if my music, but whatever. I think I just want to have a glass of wine with her and talk.
Christina,
Chris.
if you're listening,
Por favor, un vinito, un cafecito, coffee or something. I just want to talk to you. That's it.
see, she watches. She watches the sessions.
I'm sure she does.
So, what was the first concert you ever went to?
It was Shakira in Margarita Island.
Where's that?
Imagine, that's in Venezuela. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
I'm from this little island in the north of Venezuela called Margarita, and she went there. Like, imagine how crazy. Like, she went to that island that, I mean, it's a famous island, but not as, as, I don't know, like,
Super small.
it's like 500,000 people. So it's not that small.
So the
But
whole
it's small.
concert was everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not even. Imagine it was her first tour, I think, maybe.
Oh, at the
so
start.
she wasn't as famous. So she went there. I remember I was too little to see her, so I asked my brother to please like put me on his shoulder to be able to see her. But I remember that. Yeah.
Wow.
Pies Descalzos.
Yeah, that was a great album.
One of the best ones.
And now you get to cover Shakira in your album.
Sí, señor. Yes, I did.
That's
I
cool.
did. It's a dream, actually.
Yeah, more on that. Let's hold that thought. I want to know, really importantly, what's your favorite food of all time?
No sé. They always ask me that, and I don't
Really?
know what to
You get asked that a
answer.
lot?
Yeah, and yeah.
I need to stop asking it.
I know. I don't know. I would say I do love. I'm pescatarian.
Okay.
I don't eat meat. I don't eat chicken. But I don't know if because I'm from an island. I do love fish.
It is because, I mean, you're coastal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of course. Like I go to the beach to buy the fish. To
Entonces,
eat it.
¿cuál es el pescado preparado favorito?
El mero me gusta mucho. I don't know which one that is in English. Mero.
I've never heard of it, pero ¿te gusta frito, a la plancha?
I like it grilled.
Okay.
Grilled. But also pescado frito is very good. Fried fish is amazing too. When they give you the whole fish, like which is kind of bad because
Yeah.
you see the whole shape. But anyway, but yeah, I like fish a lot.
Awesome. Well, now I think we got to know who really is Nella.
She likes fish
She likes fish.
and plays and bowling.
And bowling. I think that's the coolest thing. Let's get into the songs that you prepared for us. This first one, 20 años. This has been covered by many. What was your decision on covering this specific song?
20 años, of course, I knew it, and I've always loved it. I never thought about covering it, but when I decided to make this album based on songs that I grew up with that inspired me when I was little to sing, because that's the reason of the reason of existence of this album. It was just because I was looking for a motive to to do what I do. It wasn't that I was doubting, oh, do I want to sing? It was more about, do I want this career? We know how difficult it is. So there was a moment that I was like, okay, like questioning myself, and I was like, maybe I just need to go back to the feeling that I had whenever I would go like after school to my house and just, instead of playing Nintendo, watching TV, I would just sing the whole freaking day.
Wow.
Yeah, or dance in the mirror to Britney, or like, yeah, I was like, I just loved it. That was my fun. That was like the thing that I would do. So that helped me go back to those songs, specifically for the Latin American repertoire, and also only written by women. And that was a beautiful discovery also. I didn't know that 20 años or Bésame Mucho were written by Maria Teresa Vera. So I was like, okay, this is very interesting. And then Con los años que me quedan by Gloria Estefan, and then Ola se arena, Silvia Rechat. So 20 años got there, yeah, because it was part of my life. And it reminded me why I started doing this. So that's why these songs are in this album.
Cool. Well, let's get into 20 años as reinterpreted by Nela. Let's get into it.
¿Qué te importa que te ame si tú no me quieres ya? El amor que ha pasado no se debe recordar. Fui la ilusión de tu vida, un día lejano ya. Hoy represento el pasado, no me puedo conformar. ¿Qué te importa que te ame si tú no me quieres ya? El amor que ha pasado no se debe recordar. Ay, recordar, fui la ilusión de tu vida, un día lejano ya. Hoy represento el pasado, no me puedo conformar. Ay, si las cosas que uno quiere se pudieran alcanzar, tú me quisieras lo mismo que 20 años atrás. Con qué tristeza miramos un amor que se nos va. Es un pedazo del alma que se arranca sin piedad. Fui la ilusión de tu vida, un día lejano ya. Hoy represento el pasado, no me puedo conformar. Hoy represento el pasado, yo no me puedo conformar.
thank you for that performance.
Thank you.
Your vocals are just giving new life to these songs that everybody knows and love. Admittedly, not all of these songs I grew up with, but you did play like in this album, Shakira,
Yeah.
Julieta Venegas, Gloria Estefan. So that was really cool.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You were kind of talking about how this album, the decision to make that you wanted to go back to like a nostalgic place. That's why you decided to cover all these great Latin American women. But really, what was like, as you were leading up to that conclusion or that decision, what was all going on in your mind? Like, what's your next project going to be like? Why did you finally decide on this rather than an album of original songs?
There was also one thing that I needed from this album. This album, I put a lot of pressure on it, like I wanted so many things from it. And one of them was like to get also that motivation to go writing again, to go back to writing again. I had like a gap of like 2 years or maybe more of not writing. I used to write a little bit more when I was at school, but then my first 2 albums that I did in collaboration with Javier Limon, I didn't write during that time. And it was until pandemic that I think a lot of us just went back to those hobbies that, or things that you hadn't done in a while. And for me was to go back to write. And I had a guitar that I didn't know how to play. And maybe that's why it was so much fun, because I didn't know how to play. It's just like a new kid with a new toy, just exploring sounds. And that's what I did. And I started writing with it, and I just fell in love with it again. And after that, little by little, then after this album, I got, I think, everything I needed. So I've been writing like crazy since, even while we were producing the album, with different people in Spain, in Miami, in New York, in Mexico, in LA. And that has given me all the life that I needed back. So yes, I've been writing my own music, and I can wait. That of course will be my next project. But I don't think you guys will hear until next year.
We're patient.
I'm not.
Oh, you want to just do
I
it.
want to release it. But at the same time, it's so special. And, when you have a vision that you have like all the details, you also want to do it very well. And it takes time.
Yeah.
So maybe next year. Yeah.
And I also saw that in this album, you had a hand in the producing. I mean, you're taking these songs that you love growing up, that you sung when you were singing after school, and you really just wanted I want to do it my way. Definitely putting that extra Nella touch to it. How important was that to you? And was that from the beginning of the project? You're like, I need to produce this.
It wasn't, and it wasn't planned at all. They told me about Ali Acosta, which is this incredible producer from Spain. And I listened to his music, and I immediately was like, oh, I love this guy. He's shameless. Like, he doesn't care about what's out there, what's sounding, like whatever is trendy, because he's just doing whatever he wants. And I love that about artists, So I immediately said, yeah, I want to do it. And thank God his studio is in a mountain in Madrid, in Hoyo de Manzanares. So we literally did the album in a mountain with the door open, because I wanted the wind, I wanted the sound of the wind, I wanted the sound of birds, I wanted my dog, because I brought my dog to Spain, and it was in Madrid. And you can hear that actually at the beginning of the album. It's a voice note that my producer did, because I just grabbed the guitar and I went outside and I was like, can I show you this song?
That's what that was. That's cool.
And yeah, he recorded me, and I started singing it, and that's why you can hear everything. Even my dog playing with like a plate or something. And then I was like, you know what? I would love the album to start that way, because it's kind of like a transition from where I came from, which was like these albums that were a little bit more, I wouldn't say acoustic completely. The first one maybe was more naked than the second one, Doce Margaritas. But it does represent that kind of like, desnudez, nakedness, how do you say?
Yeah.
Of me playing only guitar and voice, and then going into this new sound and new universe, which I hope people felt that way, because that's what I wanted. Like a more modern sound with all of these influences from, neo soul, R&B, folky, indie, which I love. And New York has given me a lot of that.
That's cool. Yeah, that's why I think I keep saying when I play your music, at least from this album, it's like you're bringing new life into these songs, because they do have that little R&B touch, a little bit more modern sounds and vibes for sure.
And I wanted to say, Alia Costa was the one who made that space for me to feel so free to co-produce with him, because I would just go there every day from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. with this group of musicians he got together and just like, bounce ideas and let's do this. So it was so beautiful for me for the first time to hear in my music, like how I wanted the bass to sound like, how I wanted my voice to sound like, all the vocal arrangements, all of that. It was so much fun. So that for me was a big deal.
You were kind of in your element.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
you didn't know you were in that element, but now you had a taste.
Yeah.
So maybe the next album is all produced by you.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah, but you work well in collaboration.
Yeah, I do love it.
It's teamwork.
Definitely.
Let's get into the next song that you prepared for us. It's Olas y Arena.
Olas y Arenas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you give me a little bit more explanation?
Actually, that song I didn't grow up with. I discovered that song during the process of looking for for composers that were only women. And Sylvia Rechat, unfortunately, she wasn't as famous when she was alive in her moment. But now I think in Puerto Rico, that's where she's from, she became now like a legend. And that song, I remember my producer told me, Nela, have you heard of Sylvia Rechat? There's this song called Olas y Arenas. And I heard the lyrics and I was like, this is so beautiful.
You're in.
Yes, so that's why I decided to make it part of the album.
There you go. Well, let's get into it. Here's Olas y Arenas, as in reinterpreted by Nela.
Soy la arena que en la playa está tendida, envidiando otras arenas que le quedan cerca del mar. Eres tú la inmensa ola que al venir casi me toca, pero siempre te devuelves hacia atrás. Las veces que te derramas sobre arena humedecida ya, creyendo que esta vez me tocarás. Al llegarme tan cerquita, pero luego te recoges y te pierdes en la inmensidad del mar. Soy la arena que la ola nunca toca y que en la playa tendida vive sola su pena. Tú eres sola que te envuelves en la bruma y te disuelves en la espuma, alejándoteme más. Las veces que te derramas sobre arena humedecida ya, creyendo que esta vez me tocarás. Al llegarme tan cerquita, pero luego te recoges y te pierdes en la inmensidad del mar. Yo soy la arena que la ola nunca toca y que en la playa tendida vive sola su penal, que te envuelves en la pluma y te disuelves en la espuma, alejándoteme más.
Thank you again for that performance.
Thank you.
Really appreciate. I learned so much from this album, because as you yourself learned a lot, I've learned a lot from these great women songwriters from the ages. Like, I told you I only knew like the big names like Shakira or Julieta or
Laura
Gloria Estefan.
Pausini.
Yeah, see that I didn't even know. So knowing that it was a cover album, I looked at all the credits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, let's hear the original.
So you did that homework?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And you see, they're totally different. It's just respecting lyrics and melodies. And then I just was like, I would have loved to have written these songs. in another life. That's why the name of the album.
I was gonna ask.
En otra
Yeah.
vida. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean that jumps it off. Now, could you
Yeah.
elaborate on
Yeah,
on how you came to that conclusion?
En otra vida means in another life, and for me it was like, yeah, like just like I've always wanted, like I always wanted to have written Beatles songs, you know. These songs are also like songs that I'm like, wow, I would have, you know, maybe I did, maybe in another life they sounded this way. That's what I wanted to do. Like, this is the way I feel these songs. And yeah, that's why the name of the album. That's also why the cover is like three Nellas in movement,
Oh, okay.
transparency, green, because it represents like a new beginning. And for me, that was very, very important. And you know, being constant movement, and that's how I feel this album is like a transition, you know, to
Right.
something new.
And something in the middle, right? Because I guess your songwriting and getting into
Exactly.
this new groove of what is Nella,
Exactamente.
right?
Sí.
That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
What is there a memory from the creation of this album that you never want to forget?
Oh, many. Wow, that's a great question. But in particular, the thing is that the whole process was so beautiful in Madrid.
Did you eat a lot of paella out there?
Did I what?
Paella?
Oh, we actually had a
Seafood.
one paella that I think was the last day of recordings.
Okay.
We brought a big paella to the mountain, and we
I
were
love
the
paella.
band eating. That was very beautiful. That was very beautiful. Yeah, I would say the whole process was so beautiful. There is no like one moment specifically that I can remember right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure that's
everything-
just being up there, and it was like in the mountaintop kind
Yes,
of.
yeah, it's called Hoyo de Manzanares en la Sierra.
I bet you just going there every day. Just was
I
a
was going
memory
there
that you
every
like.
day. Every day. Yeah. Actually, it was a long drive, but it was just so nice. Yeah, so nice just to get there. And also the people I worked with, that's so important. So important. The people you're surrounded
Yeah.
by, you feel comfortable and free and open to say whatever you want. So there is actually something that I remember now, going there. That's how Te Espero Sentada actually came
Like
up.
you decided to do this one?
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
cool.
not how I decided to do it. How I wanted it to sound. I remember
okay.
I wanted one of the songs at least in the album, because I tend to go very flowy with my songs. Like, if you leave me, like all my album is gonna be like, let's meditate. So, but then I'm like, okay, now I also like dancing, so let's have some up tempo stuff. So Te Espero Sentada, I was in the car going to the studio, and I was listening to a group that I love, which is called Santa Marta. It's
Oh, I
from
love them.
You
They're
know
so-
them?
Yeah, they're like Venezuelan, Colombian,
Yes,
and from Spain. Yeah.
So I met them after that, and
That's
then
so
and we
cool.
wrote together, and they're amazing. And I remember I was listening to one of their songs. It's called Agua Lluvia, I think.
I love that one too.
And I was in the car, like, I remember I was like moving the shoulder like this, and I was like, I want one of the songs in my album to do that to me. I want to be in the car listening to my songs and be like, And I was like, maybe if we do kind of like a cumbia, and it makes sense. Also, Shakira from Colombia, you know, Te Espero Sentada. I have no idea how the melody is gonna fit this groove, but I want the bass to do And I remember I got so excited to the studio. I was like, guys, oh, Te Espero Sentada. They were like, we're not working on that one today. I'm like, I don't care. I wanted to do, can you play the bass? Can you do that? No. And they were like, okay, and the melody, I don't know. Let's just find it. Let's find the tempo. Let's find it. And of course, we're playing around with it. And that made me very happy, actually. And the guys were like, oh, this is so cool. And I'm like, yeah, I'm so glad they liked it. So
Oh, thank you, Santa Marta, for the
yeah,
inspiration.
Santa Marta inspired that. Yeah,
That's so cool. And now we have Te Espero Sentada like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Is that a song out of the album that came really fast, like when it finally came together?
No, actually, I have another recording of a different groove. Like, it was, imagine, like, it was more like a, I don't know what groove that is. Like, different. It was something different. I remember we recorded everything, went to the studio, recorded it, and I listened to it. I was like, this is not, I don't know, it's not, I don't feel it. But yeah, that happens sometimes, you know?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. That'll transition into the next song then. You know, let's get into your Shakira cover of
Te Espero Sentada.
Te Espero Sentada. Here you go, enjoy it, and get ready to dance.
Sí.
veo sentada en la esquina de siempre y más arreglada que si fueran viernes, sin ninguna cita hecha previamente, pero con la plena intuición de verte. Mis ojos no paran de mirar y mirar el oscuro pedernal de las ideas, buscando más huecos dentro de este hueco, buscando una luz en medio de este cielo. Mi cielo, pobre de mi cielo. Ay, ey, ey, ey. Mi mano la guardo porque tengo frío y se sienten raras dentro del bolsillo. Ha pasado ya más de 1 hora y media, no has aparecido, me falló mi instinto. Pero es que mi instinto no sabe de amores. Pero es que mi instinto no sabe que vivir la vida sin ti es algo como morir. Es caminar sin mirar y como cantar sin oír. Es hablar sin respirar, es comer sin digerir. Porque yo descubrí que eres la forma perfecta, la medida exacta, justa para mí. Es así. Mi cielo, pobre de mi cielo. Mi cielo no sabe que vivir la vida sin ti es algo como morir. Es caminar sin mirar y como cantar sin oír. Es hablar sin respirar, es comer sin digerir. Porque yo descubrí que eres la forma perfecta, la vez. Vivir la vida sin ti es algo como morir. Es caminar sin mirar y como cantar sin oír. Es hablar sin respirar, es comer sin digerir. Porque yo descubrí que eres la forma perfecta, la medida exacta, justa para mí. Es así. Es así.
That's so fun. Shakira
Gracias.
in Nella voice.
Sí.
Has Shakira reached out to you yet?
No,
Have any
not
of these
yet.
artists-
Shaki, come on.
Come on.
Entonces.
She's also watching this.
Sí.
Shakira, come on.
Dime algo. Do you like it? No, you know what? When I did this, I was like, I just hope if whenever they hear it can be in years or something, they just, I don't know, they just,
They like it.
yeah,
do
they
this.
like it, and they also exactly, they like it, and they also feel the admiration, because that's all I did. It's just like full admiration for this artist, but proposing something of how I received this song, of how I feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
Sí.
I think you did it justice. I think so.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks.
So now that you finished this album, it's your third album, and now you were talking about maybe writing new music. What have you taken from this album experience that you're gonna maybe apply into your future album? Is there something?
Definitely production-wise, the sound is something that I did on purpose also for people to get introduced to this new
Okay, so there's already a little bit of
transition.
it.
Yeah, I don't feel my next album is going to be exactly just like this one, but with my originals. But it's just like a good transition. It's like a transition. Definitely, it's showing where I am today and where I want to go. Definitely, yeah.
Cool. I did kind of want to ask this at the beginning. I completely forgot because you were talking about songwriting. Do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
Yes. I don't remember the song, but I remember writing it in my house in Margarita, maybe my parents' room, about my brother, because he left. I don't feel like he left to study, sounded dramatic. He just left to study in Canada. But I remember, I don't know, like I didn't grow up with him, I would say. because he was always traveling. He was always living in Canada, then I think in Miami and stuff. And I think I wrote a song about him. I don't even know he knows that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Fun fact, I was born 15 years after my siblings.
Oh, that's a big gap.
Yeah, and I was a mistake. Okay, I was very planned, very. They were the mistake. No, because my mom, this is a short story. Like she got married when she was 16, and then she got my brother and my sister, and 15 years later I was born. And anyway, I wrote a song about my brother because of that. I think so. What age? I don't remember.
You don't
Maybe
remember?
11.
But that's your first song you ever wrote.
Yeah.
That's cool. Maybe it'll make a resurgence. Maybe while you're creating this new album, you're like,
Maybe it's in my house, in a book or something.
or maybe just deep in your memory somewhere, huh?
But I
gotta
don't know.
unlock
If I forget what I did yesterday, I don't know if I can remember that, you know.
Yeah, that's totally different. So anything else that's coming up for Nella besides this new iteration of your career? Any shows?
Well, shows, yeah. I'm actually going from, I'm going to be maybe coming back to LA. Let's see, hopefully. But also, I think in Miami and New York next year for sure. At the beginning of the year, we'll start, I think, at the Blue Note.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be my second time there. I'm very excited about that. And, but yeah, we'll definitely be touring more next year and releasing new music. So please.
Yeah, follow her on her Instagram
Yeah.
at Nella.
Nella, double L, Rojas, like red, M. Nella Rojas M.
It'll be down below, don't you worry.
Okay.
Let's get into this last song that you got for us.
Yeah.
This one's the one that is very popular in your catalog. It really garnered a lot of streams. And it's really fun too, and it presents people to you because it's literally Me llamo Nella. But first, we were talking before we started recording. You were gonna do an a cappella version of Mi Voz. ¿Se puede?
Sí, te
¿Se
canto un
puede?
pedacito.
I love this song. Julieta Venegas.
Me too. And you know that song, funny story about that one, I didn't want it to be part of the album.
What? It was so close to not being?
Very close to not to, because I was like, this is too risky.
In what way?
I just felt, it's not that the other ones are not famous enough, but I just felt, I don't know, like Me Voy is such a huge song and kind of recent, I would say. Like that's
Yeah.
2000 maybe. And I was just like, people, that's too present in people's memory.
Oh, I see.
And I was like, are they gonna want another proposal if they already have Julietas? You know, so I was like, so what I did, I was like, let me explore. And I talked to my guitar player who's from Israel. He doesn't have any idea who any of these artists are. So I was just like singing, he knows me very well. He knows my breathing, he knows everything because we've been playing for so long. And I just sang the song and he started playing it in a way that I would do it. Because, you know, kind of like, do you know Lian LaHaves? Oh, amazing British composer, and also Eloise, like all of this style that he knows I love. And he started playing like a few chords and, you know, like reharmonizing. And I was like, this is so beautiful. This is very me. And I think this can be another way to present Me Voy. And that's how I decided, okay. I think I can do this.
And you did it.
And I did it. So I'll sing a little bit of Me Voy. ¿Por qué no pudiste entender a mi corazón lo que había en él? ¿Por qué no tuviste el valor de ver quién soy? ¿Por qué no escuchas lo que está tan cerca de ti? Solo el ruido de afuera y yo que estoy a un lado desaparezco para ti. No voy a llorar y decir que no merezco esto, porque es probable que lo merezco, pero no lo quiero, por eso me voy. Qué lástima, pero adiós, me despido de ti y me voy. Qué lástima, pero adiós, me despido de ti. Y me voy.
Oh, muchas gracias. So cool to see that so close and like literally voice is such an instrument. You know, you can see a trombonist like doing the thing, but singers too, like the way you move your lips. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for that treasure.
Thank you for asking me for it.
Well, let's get into this last song
Sí.
and then say goodbye. Thank you so much for coming all the way here, and I wish you luck in the future with your your new album, your new vibe, your new Nella, your new reiteration of Nella. Yeah, just wish you the best.
Thank you, Byron. Thank you so much.
Gracias por venir.
A ti, querido.
Ahí estamos. Last song of the session, Me llamo Nella.
Me llaman
Me
Nela.
llaman Nella. Sorry about that. There's
It's okay.
a lot of things going
No,
up in
me
here.
llamo Nela. You can be Nela. I can be Nela. Everybody can be Nela.
We can all be Nella.
Yeah.
We're all Nella here. Enjoy the performance.
Sobre el mar de Margarita, la luna hoy se ve casi llena. Y cerquita de la orilla, sentada espero a que me amanezca. Por las calles de mi pueblo, poquito a poco voy caminando. Las viejas siempre saludan y yo siempre respondo cantando. Pescadores de mi tierra llenan de flores blancas que el puerto. Desde las casas de piedra las telas bailan a contratiempo. Y en el medio de la plaza, esa la que antes siempre jugaba. Otros niños ahora juegan, lanzan al aire abanicos de agua. Me llaman Nela, la de la voz quebrada. Paso la noche en vela cantando coplas de madrugada. Me llaman Nela, soy de canela y fuego. Si quieres que te cante vas a tener que robarme un beso. Vengo de un mundo tan viejo, nuevo amigo del dolor y el hambre, un mundo tan verdadero, solo para corazones grandes, un mundo de fantasías y muros altos ni falsedad, donde solo vive gente que busca un trago de libertad. Me llaman Nela, la de la voz quebrada. Paso la noche en vela cantando coplas de madrugada. Me llaman Nela, soy de canela y fuego. Si quieres que te cante vas a tener que robarme un beso. Ay, me llaman Nela, ay, la de la voz quebrada. Paso la noche en vela cantando coplas de madrugada. Me llaman Nela, soy de canela y fuego. Si quieres que te cante vas a tener que robarme un beso. Que robarme un beso.